guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm filming this old school on my camera. I've just been kind of not feeling setting up my regular camera and filming lately. I really hate the tripod that I have here. It's like one of those really bendable ones and it's such a pain in the butt to get right. At home, I know what level my tripod is. I always film in the same place. I know where to put my tripod and have it so I'm in frame, and here it's just so much harder because I have to there's no good places to put the tripod on, and I have to make sure I'm in frame and I have to get up and check, and it's just been kind of annoying. So I just haven't been motivated to film while I've been here mostly. And also, I did already film this video. This is my take two, and I filmed it on my other camera, and for some reason the color was really off. Like there was a blue cast and I looked kind of like a gray zombie, and it just wasn't a good look. So I decided to just, do it on my phone, because it will be much easier, and I'll go back to filming with my regular camera when I get home. And, I have more control over my space and all of that kind of stuff. But anyway, today I am doing a video I was tagged in by my friend Holly Ann Renee, and I will link her video and her channel down below, and it's called Great Products I Regret Buying. So she was kind of inspired to start this tag because a lot of people have products they regret buying because they're terrible and, they're just bad products and they regret purchasing them. But for this video, it's things that are actually really good and I do use and like, but I regret purchasing them for one reason or another. So you'll also have to excuse me because I don't have all the products with me since I am traveling, but I do have some of them, so I'll show you the ones I have, but there are some things I just won't be able to show you, so please, please excuse that. Alright, so let's get started. I have a list of everything that I want to talk about, so excuse me if I look down as well. So the first product that is really great, but I regret buying, is the NARS blush in the shade Sin. And I know I've kind of talked about this story in a couple of my videos. I know I talked about it in my first stash watching before shopping video. It was kind of the inspiration for that whole series. But basically what happened is I had been hearing a lot about NARS Sin on other YouTube channels. Everyone was talking about what a great fall, kind of wintry blush it was. It's kind of a deep plum shade if you have not seen it, with a golden shimmer in it. And, I had seen it in the pan and it kind of freaked me out, but I've been hearing such great things about it that one day I decided to pick it up and I started wearing it and I really, really loved it. But a few weeks after I had been using it, I had this box that I had a bunch of makeup I was planning on destashing, selling, or passing on to other people, and I found this blush by the Balm that I had bought several months prior over the summer. It was in the shade Pinstripe, and it's basically a dupe for NARS Sin. They're exactly the same, and what had happened is I ordered that from Hotlook, and I knew I had nothing like it, so that was kind of why I chose that shade. But when it came, it kind of freaked me out. It was so purple, I was kind of afraid of it. I don't even know if I used it, but it was very pigmented, and if I did use it, I think I must have overdone it and looked crazy, so I kind of just wasn't into that blush, so I set it aside. And then, I was inspired to get this other one and I fell in love with it, but then I realized they're exactly the same. So I have used the Balm one a few times. I was trying to see if there really was a difference. There's no difference I can tell. I think I was just freaked out by how pigmented it was and I didn't really give it a fair chance, and then I totally forgot about it and bought basically the same blush later. So that is one great product I regret buying. The next product is also by NARS, and this one I'll talk about it. So it's the NARS Dual Intensity Eyeshadow Palette. And if you've been following my I'm Gonna Know by video updates, you know that there was a time where I kind of freaked out over this palette. I had to have it, and I eventually picked it up with a Macy's store credit that I had. And I really like it. I really like the eyeshadows, I really like the colors, I really like the formula, but it costs $79. I got it for free, so I don't really regret it because I didn't spend any money. I just returned a sweater that I didn't like that I got for Christmas, and I got this eyeshadow instead, so it was all the same to me. But if I had spent my own money on it, even getting it, at a 20% off discount at the VIB Rouge sale, I would regret it for sure because when I wanted it, I kind of thought the formula, everyone was talking about how unique it was, how different it was. It seemed very different than other eyeshadows because you can use it wet or dry. But I found that there isn't a huge difference in the formula from other shadows I have. So I don't think it's worth the hype. I don't think it's worth $79, but I do really like it and I will continue to use it and enjoy it. But, you know, if I had spent my own money, I would 100% regret it. But since I got it for free, um, it just cost one ugly sweater that didn't fit. I'm totally fine with it. But, you know, if I had paid for it, definitely regret it. So that one is kind of like in the middle. Then I have some more NARS products, which is funny because I love NARS, but the reasons behind these aren't because they're bad. They're great. But one of them is this NARS Timifia Satin Lip Pencil. And this is a bright orange color right here. And I think that I bought this from Sephora. It was one of those purchases where, you know, I needed something else to get me to $50 to get free shipping, and I had heard great things about these pencils, so I picked out this one. But then I, you know, kind of like the blush, I realized I already had an orange lipstick that was almost exactly the same shade as this. So that was a MAC lipstick. I ended up selling that and keeping this one. I really love the formula. It's great, but you know, I wish I had kind of gone through my stash before I added it to my cart and maybe picked a different shade or something else altogether, because I already had an orange and, you know, there's really no need for more than one orange lipstick. And kind of related to that was the Marc Jacobs Kiss Pop in Crush, and that is also a bright orange shade. However, that one was kind of out of my control. What happened was I went to a Sephora class. It was Perfectly Paired Lips and Cheeks, and what they did is they took your skin color IQ number, or whatever they do when they take the camera, and find your foundation shade. They took that number and then they had a list of lip colors that would supposedly flatter your skin tone. So they picked one out for me and I used it in the class and I really, really loved it. So I decided to buy it, and they had written down what it was. And I think at the end of the class, one of the girls was like, "Do you want me to grab anything for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love this lipstick." And she looked at what they had written down and brought it to me, and I went home, whatever. And then later that day, I opened it up and I looked at it and it was bright orange. And I was a little confused because I had remembered, I didn't remember it being orange. In my mind, it had been more of a bright, vibrant, kind of strawberry neon red. And so I was like, oh, was it orange? Like, was the lighting in the store just weird? I'm not really sure. But then I went back and I had taken a picture of the one I used before I realized that the girls had written it down on my sheet of paper. And the one I had actually used wasn't the shade Crush. They must have meant to get me Crush, but grabbed the wrong one. It must have been in the wrong spot or something. And they had brought me a different shade. I believe it's called Pop Rock. And that was kind of a neon red color. So, you know, I could have gone back and returned it and, you know, gotten the shade that I had meant to buy, but I didn't. And I still have it. So that's kind of my fault. I regret not exchanging it for another color, I guess. But I mean, I like the formula, but I have two orange lip colors right now and they're both high end, and that's totally unnecessary. And kind of another reason I regret that purchase in general, even if I hadn't already had a bright orange lip, is that while I love really kind of bright, vibrant colors, they're not things that I wear all the time. So I don't think it's worth it to buy the high-end version of those kind of colors. At least not all the time. Because, you know, I'm never going to use up that. It's a huge, chunky orange lipstick. It costs like $30. I'm never going to use that up. I'm never going to get my money's worth, you know. So if I want a bright orange lip, I should buy something cheaper. And then if I want to, you know, splurge and get a luxury lip product, I should get something that's more neutral that I can wear more often, because then I will really get my money's worth. And that's kind of a lesson I've learned since then. Kind of along with that whole reasoning of the bright colors is the Marc Jacobs Siren palette, and that was a limited edition palette last summer, and I've shown it in a few videos. It's got white packaging, and when you open it up, it's like there's a red, yellow, there's a red color, there's a yellow gold color, there's an orangey coppery color, a blue, a teal, and a green and a white. And it looks like one of those little watercoloring paint palettes that you had when you were little with all the colors in a row, and it's so pretty. And you know, that was also kind of before I realized that if I'm going to spend a lot of money on something, that it should be something I'm going to use all the time. I really love the formula. I love using those colors for a pop of color, but you know, it's going to be really hard for me to ever hit pan or use up any of those shades because they are so bright and vibrant, and I usually only use them, in a small area. So I kind of regret spending that much money on something that I use so infrequently, even though I do really like the eyeshadows. Next up, I have the Tarte Exposed Blush, and I love this blush. But the reason I kind of regret it is because what I wanted was, if you can see, it's kind of a browny, rosy shade. And I really wanted something that would show up like this kind of more neutral brown tone. But on me, this pulls really, really pink and rosy. I don't know if you can see, but it actually looks way pinker on my skin than I had hoped it would. And it ends up looking a lot like the Tarte blush that I have in the Rainforest After Dark palette, which I don't have to show you. But, in the pan, they look totally different. So I made sure I held that they weren't the same. I didn't even expect them to look anything similar on my cheeks. But I found that, they are basically indistinguishable from one another on my face. So even though I love this, I wear it all the time, I feel like it goes with almost anything, I kind of regret it because it looks so different on my skin than it does in the pan, and it just wasn't what I was expecting. Another thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about my NARS Timothy lip pencil is that I also have NARS Train Blue. And this might actually be the one that I bought for the reason of getting free shipping or something. I don't remember, but I have heard everywhere that, NARS Train Blue and MAC Smoked Purple are dupes for one another. I've seen pictures of them looking the same. I have, seen so many people say that they are dupes. And I have MAC Smoked Purple. That was my first MAC lipstick. I kind of bought it because I have a super girl crush on Lorde and I wanted a dark purple lipstick like she had in one of her videos. And, it's not something I wear very often at all, obviously, but I do really like it. But there was no reason for me to buy this NARS one when I knew it was exactly the same. And I don't know why I did, but I did. And I might actually prefer the formula of Train Bleu to the Smoked Purple, but I definitely didn't need it. Like the orange, I don't need two of that color, and I don't need to spend a lot of money on that color, and that one I knew for sure that I had a dupe of it, and I literally have no idea what I was thinking. I must have gone into a crazy makeup mode, and I just wanted it for some reason. I think I had been, reading a makeup forum where it was a very kind of a cult favorite and it was always sold out, and then they had it back in stock and I was so excited. I don't know why, but I had to buy it. So, I'm trying to stay away from like makeup forums, and I don't watch as many YouTube videos as I used to, and the ones I do watch are more about painting and using things up instead of buying everything. So that has really helped. And anyway, that is another thing I forgot to mention earlier. Next, I have this cream blush from Stila. It's the convertible color in the shade Gerbera. And as you can see, this is well loved. I hit pan on it. It's a beautiful kind of light pink with a little bit of peach in it, and I wear it all the time. I've really been enjoying it. But what I regret about this, and also the Benefit Majorette blush that I bought, even though I really like them, I kind of regret having so many cream blushes, because I also have the Balm How About Them Apples Cream Blush Palette. And the thing with cream products is that they go bad so much faster than powders, and if I really want to get my money's worth and use them up, I shouldn't have so many at one time. So I purchased this one after I used up the shade Cider in the Balm palette because it's the most similar cream blush I could find to that shade, but I used up the other one, so I wanted to replace it. But what I've realized is, instead of replacing it immediately, I should have worked on the other ones in that palette, and I shouldn't have bought any more cream blushes. And once I kind of use up that palette and use up this one, I really don't think I'm going to go for a lot of cream blushes. I do like using them, but I just feel like you get so much product and they last so long, but they like expire in a year. This one says it's expired in 6 months, and I've had it for definitely over a year. It seems fine, I'm not afraid to use it. It doesn't smell weird. It's the same as it used to be, but just knowing that it is technically expired kind of turns me off from ever buying a cream blush or something like this again. Another purchase I regret is I bought the Bite Beauty Lip Gloss Trio on Black Friday, and I'm not a huge lip gloss person, but it was a $10 set. I'd heard good things about them, and I was like, oh, well, I should try them now. but you know, I should just remember I don't really like lip gloss. I do actually like these lip glosses way more than I anticipated, but I don't need them. I don't reach for them a lot. They are good. They're not bad lip glosses, but I just kind of regret buying them for the only reason being that they were like super cheap on sale. So the next thing I want to talk about are the Stila liquid lipsticks. And I really like these. They are a little drying, and I know a lot of people complain about that, but they aren't drying enough to bother me as long as my lips are exfoliated and I'm hydrated and all that. So this is the first one I ever bought. It's in the shade Karina. And this is when I was kind of on my hunt for a really bright coral lip shade. And that is it right there. And I remember this is one of the first products that got me into watching YouTube because I watched so many reviews of it before I purchased it. I watched so many videos of girls, you know, wearing it all day, testing it out, and it's one of my first memories of watching makeup videos on YouTube. But I bought this and I loved it so much that I just wanted all the colors. So after I bought this one, I went out and I got Fiery, which is kind of a deep red, and then on eBay I bought a deluxe size of Beso, which is also red. It's just a brighter red. And, you know, first of all, two reds in the same formula is really unnecessary. There's a difference between them, but I really don't need two red liquid lipsticks. And, you know, these are another thing, kind of like cream blushes. They're hard to get through. You only use a tiny, tiny bit. They last forever, and they expire faster than regular lipsticks. So while I like them and I use them, I just didn't need to have three of them. And that's something I'm kind of trying to, I feel like once we find a product that we really like, we want it in all the colors, but then we want, you know, all the colors of all these different products that we like, and then we have so many dupes, and you just don't need that many things. So, you know, I'm trying to resist the urge when I find something and I really like it to go out and buy more of it. I need to just enjoy the one I have, use it, and then, you know, if I use it up or make a big dent, or, you know, in a few months or a year or two, if I really, really want another one, I can do that, but I need to resist that urge of finding something, loving it, and then immediately going out and buying different colors of it. And finally, I am going to talk about the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Creamy Beige. I just finished that color tattoo and I love it. I have a backup, and that's the one I'm referring to. I'm not upset that I have a backup because I really, really love it and I know that I will use it, but I regret purchasing that backup because, kind of like I just mentioned with the liquid lipsticks and, you know, loving something, I don't need to immediately go out and buy a backup. And I really have learned my lesson with that color tattoo because it took me 37 weeks of using it almost daily. I mean, the first few months I was using it, I don't think I used it every day, maybe every other day, but for the last 6 months, I was using it every single day, and that is how long it took me to use it up, and I had no need to go out and buy a second one, you know, before I had even started panning that one. You know, didn't even have a dip in it. I had gone out and buy it. It's not limited edition. It's permanent. I could buy a new one anytime. And I regret having that, and, you know, having it sit in my drawer for a year before I'm going to use it, because I don't think I packed that for my internship because I wanted to take a break from it. So I'm not going to get to that for over a year after I bought it, and the fact that I bought a backup so quickly was just ridiculous. So that is another thing I've learned, that just because I like something and it's really, really great, you know, it takes forever to use things up, and there's no need to go run out and buy a backup before I'm anywhere near close finishing it. So that is the last thing I'm going to talk about. So hopefully I didn't ramble too much. I'm sure I did ramble a little bit, but yeah, those are some products that I do love. They're really great. I've hit pan on some of them. I wear some of them all the time, but for some reason or another, I kind of regret purchasing them. So if you want to do this video, it's really fun. Please let me know if you've done it or if you are going to do it in the comments down below. And thank you, Holly Ann, for tagging me to do it. I really had fun with this. I was watching her video and I was pausing it and, you know, taking notes on things that I kept thinking of that I wanted to talk about. So I really enjoyed making this video, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!